How are you? This is a video I've been wanting to make now for about a month, and hopefully it inspires one person. And it has to do with uh, the book, the video of The Secret. Um, I know there are those that when they hear The Secret, they get inspired, they get motivated, and they become successful. Then there are those who hear about this book, video, The Secret, which you could honestly uh, purchase the book if you like to read. If you don't, just honestly, just go to YouTube. You can find the video. It's a bunch of people that are successful in different ways, and it's in layman's terms probably what just people would consider like, oh, it's about positivity. It's really not. That's something I just figured out. That's something I've been going back with for a while now because I didn't realize I'm blessed, truly blessed, that when I was very young, I was practicing The Secret, just like I think many of you might have been, hopefully were. Um, didn't even realize you were until somebody put it into a book or onto a video and titled it The Secret. And that's when I figured out when I first watched it that it wasn't. Um, the problem is The Secret, because of marketing purposes, obviously they want you to buy the book, so they're going to promise you more than actually, they're going to promise you riches, they're going to promise you cars. I mean, a lot of the people in the video talk about how they focused on a mansion, they focused on lifestyles that had to do with being rich, and their results were just that, which I think is a wonderful thing. But there's, again, like I said, there's different levels of success. There's different types of success. I mean, and some people just being healthy after fighting having a bout with cancer, or going through a horrible relationship and coming out, surviving that relationship. That's success. Studying hard and graduating college, graduating high school, graduating grammar school. For a child, pre-K, coloring in the lines is successful. So there's, success is in the eye of the beholder. But the point that I'm trying to make is larger than what The Secret is. Because obviously, when I watched The Secret, actually read The Secret and then watched The Secret, I realized that it was amazing, but it wasn't really anything that I didn't know. Just like there isn't anything that you didn't know. The only issue I see is that a lot of people still believe it's some new agey type of thing because it's all about positivity. It's all about believing in yourself and blah blah blah. Which, again, for some reason, in today's society, being positive seems to be negative, and being negative is accepted. So I guess it's like that old Run DMC, bad meaning bad, not bad meaning good. I don't know. But I personally would rather go about and be able to be positive. Why wouldn't I? It's like I said, it's just funny that it's accepted to be negative. It's okay to vent at work in your office and, oh, Monday sucks and this sucks, and when you're talking about the wife, it's the old ball and chain, and it's like negative, 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 negative. It's like you don't realize what you're doing. You're putting that into the universe constantly. How do you feel? I feel like crap. Do you like your job? My job sucks. Do you like a relationship? My wife is a pain in the ass. This place sucks. This house sucks. Everything sucks. And it's like, do you not hear what you're saying? Say it enough. Keep saying it. You keep saying it. It's what you get. You get what you put out there. And it's sad that people don't realize it is that simple. What you put into the universe is what you get back. The problem is with the Secret, which, again, if you haven't watched it, please YouTube it this afternoon and just watch it. It's inspirational, and they talk about so much about how you put your thoughts into something like a vision board. We at skullandmoon.com, we just had a vision board event recently. Again, just cutting out pictures of things that inspire you, of things you see yourself wanting to do, and you put them on a board. You look at it enough, and it gets to that point that it happens. You manifest it. Again, there are those here watching that are probably like, oh, that's bullshit. I've done it 3 times, and 3 times I've been extremely successful. Things that I put on there that I was kind of like, and I got it. And this will lead back to where I'm going with the secret. The issue, the piece that's missing in the secret that I think they should really harp on more in that video, just that video, it's your attitude. And it is mentioned, but I think not enough, because they really want to get you inspired with, believing that you'll have a Maserati, you'll have a Maserati. Believe that you'll have a mansion, the perfect model wife, to be able to travel around the world. You'll believe in it, see it, want it, poof, it happens. And that's not true. Not entirely true. It's up to you. It's truly up to you. We spend so much time wasting time thinking what we want, what we don't want, what we could have. We care more about what we have. We care more about what we don't have instead of what we have. And then when we get those things, then we're still not happy. And then we want more. It's confusing. You really need to change your attitude. This isn't anything you haven't heard, your parents say when you were young, your friends say when you were young, your teachers say when you were young. You have to change your attitude. That's cool, huh? So, what does that mean? Because that's not as simple as you think. Because if it was, we'd all change our attitude. But, you are what you believe you are. You can be what you believe you can be. Thank you. It's funny because the sky isn't really changing, but it keeps changing the camera. The reason I picked this place, I actually came to visit a friend here. I come here often just to talk to him. And this is the end. This is the end. This is, this is where we will all be one day. Death is coming. Death is coming for me. Death is coming for you. Many of you will jump on that and be like, oh my God, I'm not ready. Okay, well, none of us are really ready. It's just, I believe that when your time is done here on this planet, then we're done. Then we move on, and I personally believe in reincarnation. So, my hopes and aspects are a little different. But while you're on this planet, to get to the secret, to get the mansion, the cars, all that stuff, it really comes down to you just simply, and I use that word simply, change your attitude. How bad do you want something? Because whenever you bring that up to people, people automatically will say, like, I really want it bad enough. I of course, who doesn't want to be rich? Who doesn't want a big house? Who doesn't want, what people would consider, I guess, in some people's eyes, the so-called perfect life. Which, what is that? What is the perfect life? To me, the perfect life is surviving life, of life without stress, life with love, genuine love from the heart. Because when you have that, it's like a drug. You never forget that feeling. We go through life often with lots of different loves, and finally that one love clicks, and it's unlike anything. And you don't really know how good it is until you lose it. So, But with The Secret, it's all about, like, what do you have to do to get those things? What do you have to do when you create the vision board? It's all about your intention. It's all about the intention that you put into your thoughts, your wants, your needs, your passions. And it's really not that unrealistic, because, I mean, unless I'm talking to someone now who's, in their, 3 or 4 years old, most of us as adults, I can guarantee you can look back and think of times that you've actually decided, I really want that. And it's like, I really, really want that. Like, there's no thought behind it. It's just, you do, and all of a sudden it works out, and the door opens, and you step through, and everything was perfect, and you were successful, and you got what you wanted without a thought. Instead of harping and creating stress and misery for something that you really know you couldn't get, or you couldn't afford, or you shouldn't have, but you still harped on it. And then you got it, and then you're like, well, then it sat in the driveway. And you're like, okay, But then that's when that stubbornness comes in. You got to let go of that shit. You just got to be honest. You got to be honest about yourself. You got to be honest to yourself. More to yourself than anybody. Honestly. Know yourself. Never lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. Sadly, I know a few people I can think off the top of my head that constantly lie to themselves. But it's a shame. But life is short. There you go. And you got to make the most of it. And the best way to do that is to crash and burn. Be honest. Always. To yourself. Because realistically, many of us, or anybody will lie to other people, lie to our spouses, lie to our boyfriends and girlfriends, lie to our friends, lie to our bosses. It doesn't matter. Like, you really think it's stupid. Like, it's just stupid. There's no words to put it. It's just stupid, because it's like, you think you're playing a game. Honestly, the only game you're playing with is yourself. The only person you're deceiving is yourself. So the best thing to do is start with yourself and be honest with yourself. If you have issues, if you have bad habits, whatever it is, come to grips with it. Deal with that shit, because that will hold you back. That will keep you down. Deal with that shit. You're not perfect. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with that. You're a work in progress. That's all. You're going to step in shit 5, 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 times. And while you're trying not to step in shit, you also have to try to keep healthy. Because the minute health kicks your ass, forget trying to do this, or that. It's not happening. As you can see with people around me. You have to focus on getting better, being honest, loving yourself, respecting yourself, getting your shit together. I like to use the comparison to Alcoholics Anonymous. I personally love it. I've never drank in my life, but it's the concept of when you walk in, you have to realize that, yes, I'm an alcoholic. You admit to it. For some of us, it hurts. For others, it may make you want to cry. But it's just like, so what? Like, okay, so you're an alcoholic, or you're a liar, or you're a criminal, you're a cheater, whatever it may be. Figure it out. Come to grips with it. It's like it erases. Excuse me. It's like the best way it resets itself. Reset yourself. That's a t-shirt. Reset yourself. Realize that you're not perfect. You are a work in progress. You're a beautiful piece of art that's just being worked on every day. Every day you get knocked down, you get back up. And you just keep going. So what? Until you end up here, you have another chance. Once you're here, well, then again, you either go to heaven, hell, or, like I said, if you believe in reincarnation. Yeah, somebody's coming. If you believe in reincarnation, then that's something different. You have another chance, another chance, another chance, another chance. But you got to find yourself. You got to come to grips with yourself. You got to balance yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to respect yourself. How do you start? A lot of people think it's just easy. It's just words. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to do it. It's not. It's very difficult, actually. It's very difficult. What doesn't help is if your friends are crappy, if your spouse is crappy, if you're surrounded by negative people, if you go to work where it's negative, if you hang out at places where it's negative. That's why, if you ever notice, when people really get into more and more like the spiritual world, they tend to separate themselves from others. It's not like you think you're better at all. It's just it's difficult. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to go inward, and you have to always disconnect and cut away the negativity. So meditating and doing all this stuff, and then going over somebody's house that all they talk about is how horrible life is and how they want to commit suicide and how life is tough and blah 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 blah. It's like I'm not taking away from that, but it's that's something that they need to deal with. And you need to deal with your thing. We all have our demons. We all have demons. And you're finally coming to grip that you have demons. How many are there? What are their names? And what are you going to do with them? And how are you going to get rid of them? So going to somebody's house to hear about their demons only just makes things difficult for you. Exactly. So that's why you can, in a way, have anything you want. And the beauty of this life is that God wants us to have everything. He really does. He wants us to... Life itself is the gift. It really is. A lot of people say this is hell on earth. I personally think it's heaven on earth. I'm truly blessed. And it's not like I've lived the greatest life, but I've had many, 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 many experiences. And I've been able to sit there and watch as each one links to the next, and why things, even negative things, why negative things happened that opened that door. And then I was able to walk through that door, and life was good. And then a door closed, and instead of pushing on that freaking door, I just looked down the hallway, saw another door, and just went through it, and life continued. And it was better than ever. That's being blessed. I'm blessed. And I really think that for those of you that are watching, I think you're blessed too. I really do. I really do. I think you're blessed. The fact that you could sit here and listen to me talk means that you're breathing, you're alive. So you're blessed. You may not have the perfect life, you may not have the perfect home, you may not have the perfect car. But there's things that you can look into that you can realize that, damn, you're blessed. God is good. God is really good. Even when you step on shit, you wipe it off. You just keep going. Because you can. That in itself is a blessing. Change the attitude. Let that shit go. Literally, just brush it off. Let that shit go. You go into a negative place from empaths that are out there. Ugh. You walk into a place, you just pick up that negative stuff. Let that shit go. Cut it off. Cut it off. Your homes, sage them. Sage your homes. Bless your homes. If you visit my site, skullandmoon.com, I do house blessings. I've done house blessings for people that... it was like walking into pea soup. They had the worst attitudes. And all I did was bring God's light in. And when you do that, you're amazed. It's just... Even they did. Things just automatically cleared. It's like we bring this in. A lot of people think that, blessings and clearing homes, it's all about ghosts and spooks and stuff. A lot of it is just you. A lot of it is the energy that you collect from negative people, from whatever. You want to go to the demon part? I don't really care. It's just negative people. You bring that on. You latch that on. You latch that negative energy on. And then you go home and you fill your home with this, and you fight with your spouse, and you yell at your kids, and you scream at your dog, and you bitch at your cats, and it's just like negative, 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 and that's your home. Your home should be a peaceful place. Your job, well, you can't control it. Your office, can't control it. Your home, you can control. To a point. Like I said, visit our page, skullandmoon.com. I do house blessings. I do house clearings. I love doing them. I love doing them to see people's attitudes, and not even that. Actually, it's usually that day, but a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later, to hear them talk about how amazing their home felt or feels. It's really something that, like, I don't like to take the credit and just I like to teach people, like, these are the things you can continue to do to keep your home clean, happy, blessed, positive, because we need someplace to go. You need someplace to run to, and it's usually your home. Even if it's one room, it should be something. There's things you could do with candles. There's things you could do with sage. There's things you could do with incense. I bring a lot of my own tricks and of the trade that I've actually created that I'm proud of. That help people empower, give them just self-empowerment. Take your home back. And it's not that involved. Bottom line is just bringing light back into your home. It's a little bit more involved. But there's so many things. Astrology, I don't know, not to get off, on a tangent here, but, for those of you that follow astrology, know your horoscope. That's a huge thing. At Skull and Moon, we also do horoscopes. This wasn't supposed to be a commercial for Skull and Moon, but hey, we also do astrology, something that we learned a few years back. We started working with actually the oldest astrological group in the state of Connecticut, actually in the country. They're all older people, and they break that down to a science. And it's a shame that people think that the horoscope is simply you're an Aries and that's it, and you're a Leo and that's all. And it's like, it's a lot more involved than that. It's down to a science, really. There's charts that we've done for people that have, like, they've been blown away simply by knowing your time of birth. That's very important. There's ways of rounding it around or actually going back and figuring it out if you don't know it, but it's too involved. It's way too timely. It's better off. And it takes a lot of time to do this. I mean, we charge for this because it takes a lot of time. We don't charge a lot. I know a lot of people that charge a lot of money, and it's worth it. Honestly, it's worth every penny. But, we're more really about education and trying to balance everything together and bringing positive energy to you through either Reiki, through animal Reiki, through pranic healing. I'm actually now working with my mentor. She's a specialist in hypnotherapy, and she's taken me under her wing, and I've been working with her, and it all comes together. It all comes together in a way that it's blowing me away daily. It's magical. It's sometimes too much for me to even take in, to see how everything is connected. And it all really is just linked into you and going inward and finding who you are, the true you. To throw in another branch, for the astrology, we do readings. Go to the website. Again, there's a link for that too. Again, you'd be surprised. Know your time of birth, and obviously your day, but your time of birth and exactly where you're born, which I assume you do. But the big thing here is the guided meditations that I do at the Grove, which is part of Bohemian High in Milford. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been doing them since the day after my mother passed away, and it saved my life. And I never thought it would take off the way it has. For years, I've had people want me to share it with them, but I understand that there seems to be a difficulty with sitting still. And people, I think, expect more than what it is. It's almost they expect you to sit still and then all of a sudden turn into like a ball of light or something. I don't know, or shoot wings, or I don't know, spit fire. It is simple. Again, then that's the thing. Everything that we're talking about is the simplicity of life, of just of balancing yourself, figuring out who the hell you are, what you're about, and just going with that. That's it. There's no magic. There really isn't. It's just balance. How do you start at home? How do you start? Clutter. Clutter is huge. I know a lot of people just roll their eyes. Clutter is huge. You can't breathe. You need to look at a counter. You need to be able to walk around. You need a space. You need a space that's yours, that's neutral. And it doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be, by the end of the month. You could take the next year if it's that bad. I was an animal control officer. I did a lot of hoarding situations with houses that I had to crawl into piles to get into the house. You know, hopefully none of you are like that. But even then, that lady that I'm thinking of, she got rid of it. It happens to all of us. Again, it's not a bad thing. We need to stop comparing ourselves to negative. Everything is negative. Everything is horrible. You're a bad person. You're not a bad person. It's just, you are what you create. You are what you see, how you see yourself. When you get a chance, look in the mirror. Tell yourself you love yourself. That's a start. A lot of people can't do that. I always ask people to do that at meditation. Everybody laughs. Then they write to me later on. They say that they cried. Right now, go look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself. And if you have to, forgive yourself. That's part of the whole, like I said, the mentality of AA. It's like, I'm an alcoholic. I'm this, I'm that. And you are. So what? Big deal. But to start moving forward, to do that secret, to get that secret of success, to get all those things you want in life, you got to start filtering stuff out. You got to clean them out. Clean your filters. It's like a vacuum bag. Throw the vacuum bag out. Brand new vacuum. Cleans better. We carry so much shit constantly. And we just keep building. We just keep building. We just keep building. And it's like, until you're carrying all this baggage. And then you're going to watch The Secret and be like, I want a mansion. And it's like, how come I'm not getting it? It's like, because you're not ready for it. Just because you say something, your conscious mind is here. Your conscious mind, this is a tree. This is what I want. I fear this. I fear that. I think this is funny. I watch this. I watch that. Your subconscious mind is the true you. Your subconscious mind knows exactly who you are. So you just have to figure out how to shut the conscious mind down so you can communicate with your subconscious and see where you are. See what you want. See how you truly feel about yourself, about life, about your job, about your wife, about your friends. Do you like who you really are? Are you happy with yourself? Do you love you? All that stuff, like when I was talking about cluttering of a house, is clutter. It's clutter that we carry. Let that shit go. Filter those things. Clean them out. Clean them out. Remove them. Remove them. Start from scratch. You're allowed to. You're allowed to play. You're allowed to hit reset. It's not a problem. You can hit reset. Stepped in shit a few times. Married somebody who I shouldn't have. Took a job I shouldn't have. Just hit reset. I think you're worth it. I think you should do it. You're valuable. And you should know your value. When you walk around, know your value. We tend to not do that. We allow we allow people to dent our armor. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we got to be able to get up every so often, hit reset. Learn what we learned from our mistakes and know that they were just lessons. And just move on. And that's the thing. A lot of people will write to me privately, because I get so many people writing to me privately like, oh, it's not like that. It's not that easy, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my God, it is. It actually is. And then, trust me, there's times that I'm like, life sucks and blah, blah, blah. And then I catch myself, because that's all it is about, catching yourself. I'm going, Jimmy, stop, chill, breathe. And then I'll come visit a friend at a place like this. I go, what the hell was I complaining about? Who was I to be complaining? Life is beautiful. You're beautiful. Know your value. Know that you're special. Know that you're one of a kind, and know that you're a work in progress. You deserve to be, I don't want to use the word deserve, but you should want to be happy. You're blessed. Never forget that. Go look in the mirror. Remember, I love you. I forgive you for everything. Move on. You're blessed. You're valuable. And again, if you need any of our services, skullandmoon.com. Check us out. Message me. May God bless you. Watch over you. And live your life as much as you can before you get here. Okay? Thank you very much.